Imagine a middle-aged man, John, waking up early for another day at work. He gets up, goes to the bathroom, and, as has been happening a lot lately, finds it difficult to urinate. The feeling of not being able to empty his bladder completely is frustrating. He asks himself, is this normal? Is it just age? John doesn't know, but this small difficulty could be a sign of something bigger, something that millions of men around the world face. Prostate problems. Have you ever stopped to think that something as simple as the fruit you eat could be the key to protecting your prostate and, consequently, your quality of life? The prostate, a small but powerful gland, is essential for male health. However, over the years, it can become a source of concern. From difficulty urinating to more serious problems such as prostate cancer, the challenges are real, but not insurmountable. The good news is that nature provides us with powerful tools to take care of our health. And one of the most effective is well within our reach: diet. Yes, the food choices we make every day can have a profound impact on prostate health. And the amazing thing, there is one fruit in particular that excels in this mission. But before we reveal which one it is, let's understand a little more about this very important gland. The prostate is a walnut-sized gland located just below the bladder and in front of the rectum. It plays a crucial role in the male reproductive system, producing part of the seminal fluid that nourishes and transports sperm. Despite its modest size, the prostate has a significant impact on a man's quality of life. As men get older, the prostate tends to increase in size, a condition known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH. This enlargement can compress the urethra, causing symptoms such as weak urinary flow, difficulty initiating urination, and the feeling that the bladder has not been completely emptied. These symptoms can be more than just annoying. They can affect quality of life, interfering with sleep, work, and even personal relationships. As well as BPH, there's another ghost hanging over men's health: prostate cancer. According to the American Cancer Society, around 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. In 2024, it is estimated that more than 29,900 new cases will be diagnosed in the United States alone. These figures are not just statistics. They represent fathers, brothers, husbands, and friends whose lives are deeply affected. But it's not all bad news. Prostate health is not a lost cause. Adopting a healthy lifestyle with a diet rich in specific nutrients can make a significant difference. And this is where the powerful connection between diet and prostate health comes in. Certain fruits in particular are true superfoods when it comes to protecting this vital gland. You may have heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but what if I told you there was a fruit that could do even more for your prostate? This fruit is rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that not only nourish your body, but also protect your prostate from disease. And best of all, it's easy to find and can be incorporated into your diet in many delicious ways. One of the most powerful substances for prostate health is lycopene, an antioxidant that gives certain fruits their red color. Studies show that lycopene can reduce the risk of prostate cancer and help control prostate growth in men with BPH. And guess what? This fruit we're talking about is one of the richest in lycopene. John was tired of feeling like a hostage to his own body. That constant feeling of a full bladder, the sleepless nights, the silent fear of something more serious, it all started to weigh on him. But one Saturday morning, February 15th, 2025, something changed. He heard a report on the radio while drinking coffee. Men who take care of their diet can reduce prostate problems by up to 30%, says study. It was a glimmer of hope. John decided that he was no longer going to wait for things to get worse. He was going to act. And that's the essence of self-care, taking charge of your own health, one simple step at a time. Self-care isn't just about going to the doctor, although John made an appointment for the following week, February 20th, just in case. It's about everyday choices, like what we put on our plates. John's prostate, like many men's, was showing warning signs. Benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, as the doctor suspected, affects around 50% of men over the age of 50, according to the U.S. National Institute of Health. It's a natural enlargement of the gland, but it can squeeze the urethra and turn something basic, like urinating, into a battle. John realized that ignoring it wasn't going to solve anything. What about cancer? That was the fear that kept running through his head. In 2024, the American Cancer Society registered 29,900 new cases in the United States alone. By 2025, the projection had risen to 299,010, a leap that reflects more diagnoses and an aging population. That's when the idea of the diet came into play. The report he heard cited a 2015 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry. The researchers found that men who eat foods rich in lycopene, that red antioxidant we mentioned, have between 30% and 40% less chance of developing prostate cancer. And lycopene is found in common fruits, such as tomatoes, which John already had in his fridge. Is it really that simple? He thought, cutting up a tomato for lunch. It wasn't magic, but basic science. Lycopene fights free radicals, molecules that damage cells and can lead to cancer. John started small. That same Saturday, he made a salad with tomatoes, olive oil, and a little salt. Nothing fancy. Olive oil, he later learned, helps the body absorb lycopene better, according to research from Ohio University in 2018. On Monday, 17th, he took a tomato plant to the backyard, a gift from a neighbor. Planting it was a way of making a commitment. If I take care of it, it will take care of me, he joked with his wife, Maria, who loved the idea. It was more than food. It was a symbol of proactivity. But John's self-care didn't stop at tomatoes. He read that BPH can be influenced by weight and hydration. A 2023 article by the American Urological Society showed that men with a balanced weight have fewer symptoms of a swollen prostate. So, on Tuesday the 18th, he swapped the soda for water and cut out the sweetbread from his afternoon snack. Small changes, but they made sense. Maria joined in. If it's good for you, it's good for both of us. Her support showed John that taking care of himself also meant taking care of those he loved. And the results? It was still early, but on Friday, the 21st, John woke up only once at night, a breakthrough. He knew it wasn't a cure, but a start. The doctor confirmed it at the appointment. You're on the right track. Diet does help. Dr. Anna, with 20 years' experience, said something that stuck in John's mind. Prevention is easier than treatment. That phrase became his motto. And the tomato, it was just the first step. Other fruits with their own powers were waiting to enter John's story. And perhaps yours. How would you start taking care of your health today? John was beginning to see food in a new way. That Sunday, February 23, 2025, he picked the first tomato from the plant he had put in the yard a week earlier. It was red, firm, and seemed to carry a promise. He already knew that lycopene, the antioxidant that gives tomatoes their color, could protect the prostate. But what exactly did that mean? How could nature, with something so common, be so strong? The answer lies in what these fruits bring to the body, a power hidden in every bite. Let's start with the basics. The human body is like a machine full of tiny parts called cells. These cells can be attacked by invisible villains, free radicals, which arise from things like pollution, stress, or even fatty food. When free radicals gain strength, they damage cells, paving the way for serious diseases, such as prostate cancer. That's where antioxidants come in, like the lycopene in tomatoes. They act as shields, neutralizing these enemies before they can wreak havoc. A 2015 study by scientists at the University of Illinois showed that men who eat tomatoes regularly have up to a 40% lower risk of prostate cancer because of this. But tomatoes don't work alone. Think of watermelon, which John tasted for breakfast on the 24th. It's full of water, over 90% of it is pure hydration, and has a nutrient called citrulline. This compound helps blood vessels relax, improving circulation. Why does this matter? Because the prostate needs well-distributed blood to stay healthy. If the flow is poor, it can inflame or grow more than it should, worsening the BPH that John felt. Research from the University of Florida, published in 2020, showed that citrulline can even relieve swelling in glands such as the prostate. Now, imagine the avocado that Maria insisted John add to his lunch on Wednesday the 26th. Unlike other fruits, it is rich in good fats, those that don't clog the arteries, but help the heart and hormones. The prostate depends on hormones such as testosterone to function properly, and when the hormonal balance fails, it can grow out of control. Avocados contain vitamin E and fats that maintain this balance, as well as reducing inflammation. A 2019 study from the University of California showed that men who eat avocados have fewer signs of an irritated prostate, which has John excited to try more. These fruits are not miracle remedies, but natural allies. Each one delivers something special. Tomatoes protect cells, watermelon improves blood flow, avocado calms and balances. Together, they form a team that strengthens the body from the inside out. Dr. Annie, whom John met at his appointment on the 21st, explained this in a simple way. Nature gives us what we need for prevention, if we know how to use it. He said that in 2023, the Ian Society of Urology published a guide recommending fruit-rich diets for men with BPH based on years of research. John realized that the power of nature isn't just about science, it's about simplicity. On Saturday, 22nd, he watched a BBC documentary released in January 2025 about how ancient peoples used fruit to live longer. Tomatoes, for example, were treasures in South America even before they arrived in Europe in 1492, brought by Christopher Columbus. Today, science confirms what these peoples had in mind. Food can be protective. For John, every bite of a tomato or a piece of watermelon was like an agreement with his body. I'll give you the best, and you'll keep me well. Have you ever thought about what nature can do for you? John was just beginning to find out. He knew that the tomato was the leader of this team, but other fruits were ready to take the field. What else did nature have in store to help him beat BPH and keep his fears at bay? The answer lay just ahead, begging to be explored. John was beginning to taste life again. On the afternoon of Sunday, March 2, 2025, he ran after a ball with his grandson, Pedro, in the backyard. It was the first time in months that he felt light enough to play like this. Before, the doubt about his prostate held him back. Not just because of the discomfort, but because of the weight of wondering, am I becoming less of a man? He didn't say it out loud, but men's health is about more than a functioning body. It's about identity, strength, and being there for those who matter. The prostate, that small gland near the bladder, does much more than John imagined. It helps create the fluid that carries sperm, which is essential for fertility. When he was younger, in the 1990s, married to Maria and planning a family, this seemed like just biology. But now, at 55, he saw that it went beyond that. It affected how he felt as a man. BPH, which the doctor confirmed on February 21st, messed everything up. Constant trips to the bathroom, choppy sleep, even his patience with his grandchildren. A World Health Organization report from 2022 says that 60% of men over 60 face symptoms like this. John didn't want to wait another 5 years to become a statistic, and there's the side that nobody likes to talk about: prostate cancer. In 2025, the National Cancer Institute, INCA, predicts 71,570 new cases in EUA. Men like John, or like his friend Roberto, who faced the disease in 2023. Roberto, now 64, tells how the diagnosis made him rethink everything. You think that being a man is all about strength, but it's also about taking care of yourself so you don't let others down. He changed his diet after hearing at a health seminar in Sewanee in October 2023 that fruit can cut the risk in half. John heard this at a barbecue on March 1st and thought, if he can do it, so can I. Men's health isn't just about avoiding the worst. It's about living well. John recalled a conversation with Dr. Annie during his consultation. Your prostate doesn't define who you are, but taking care of it keeps you in the game. The doctor, based on a 2018 Harvard University study, explained that active, well-fed men are less likely to have hormonal problems. Testosterone, which the prostate helps regulate, gives energy, keeps muscles firm, and even keeps the mood up. When BPH or cancer mess this up, the body feels it, and so does the head. John noticed that before changing his diet, he was more irritable, less himself. At the barbecue, another friend, Marcos 48, opened up. I also feel the flow weaker, but I'm embarrassed to tell you. John realized that many men bear this silence. A survey by the EUA and Society of Urology in November 2024 showed that 40% of men avoid talking about symptoms because they think it's weakness. But John saw the opposite. Facing your health is courageous. He started taking extra tomatoes to work on March 3rd and even joked with his colleagues. "This is my male medicine." They laughed, but some asked for tips. Maria also felt the difference. "You're lighter, more here," she said on the evening of the 4th while they were watching TV. Taking care of her prostate was becoming more than a personal plan. It was a way of being whole for her, her grandchildren, and her friends. The American Society of Medicine, in a January 2025 report, reinforces this. Men who adjust their lives with diet and movement live up to 10 years longer. John wanted those years, not just to last, but to enjoy them. He knew that tomatoes, with their lycopene, were a pillar of this. But Dr. Annie had talked about other fruits that could add strength. Could it be that nature had more cards up its sleeve to help John become the man he wanted to continue to be? The answer was growing, along with his curiosity. John woke up early on the morning of Wednesday, March 5th, 2025, with something different in his chest, a flash of optimism. It had been weeks since he started changing his life, planting tomatoes, cutting down on sugar, listening to his body. That weak stream when he urinated had improved a lot, but it was still there. He knew BPH wasn't going to magically disappear, but for the first time in months, he felt he had a chance of winning. It wasn't just about the prostate, it was about taking charge and finding hope where before there was only uncertainty. Hope is a powerful fuel. For John, it came in a conversation with Dr. Annie on February 23rd when the doctor said, "You're not doomed. Small actions can change the course." That echoed in his head. A study by Johns Hopkins University, published in 2021, showed that men with BPH who adjust their diet and lifestyle are 35% less likely to need surgery. John didn't want a scalpel. He wanted control. And the numbers backed it up. In 2025, the American Society of Medicine estimates 71,570 new cases of prostate cancer in the USA, but also points out that prevention cuts this risk by up to 20%. It was an open window, and John decided to go through it. On Friday, March 7th, he brought a plate of tomato and avocado salad to a dinner with friends. "I'm becoming a chef," he joked, while Marcos, the friend who had confessed to the same symptoms, took a portion. "If it works, I'm in," said Marcos, laughing. John realized that he wasn't just fighting for himself, he was inspiring others. A December 2024 report by the American Urological Society points out that men who share healthy changes influence their friends to do the same by up to 50%. It was like lighting a flame that would spread. Nature, with its tomatoes and other fruits, was the basis for all this. John already knew about lycopene, that red shield that the 2015 University of Illinois study linked to a 40% drop in cancer risk. But on Saturday, March 8th, he saw a video on YouTube posted in March 2025 by a channel called More Life, talking about more allies. Watermelon, with its citrulline, kept the blood flowing well, something that an article from the University of Florida in 2020 confirmed as essential for the gland. Avocado, which he now ate with wholemeal bread, had fats that calmed inflammation, according to research from the University of California in 2019. Each fruit was a brick in the wall he was building against fear. Maria noticed the change. On the evening of the 9th, she said, "You're more confident, John. You seem to believe in yourself again." It was true. Empowerment wasn't just about eating right. It was about feeling that he had a say in his own destiny. A community health event in Florida on January 15, 2025, highlighted that men who take proactive action live with 25% less health anxiety. John felt this in his own skin, waking up less at night, playing with his grandchildren without rushing, planning a weekend without worrying about the bathroom. It was freedom taking shape. He started dreaming bigger. On Monday, March 10th, he bought watermelon seeds at the market, thinking of planting them in his backyard. "If the tomato gave me that, imagine the rest," he said to Maria, who laughed and promised to help. Dr. Annie was right. Prevention was easier than repair. A 2023 World Health Organization guide reinforces that natural diets can add up to 8 years of active life. John wanted those years for his grandchildren, for Maria, for himself.